Well, you're welcome to the sports segment here on AM Show. My name is Bennett. Last weekend. Also here on the local scene, after 9 months of no domestic football, the local and across the country at the Accra Stadium as well as the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. And they've appointed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after where he played some great games and won games for Manchester United. So what it means is that he comes in to replace Jose Mourinho, and he has spent 11 seasons as a United player, scoring the winning goal in the 1999 UEFA Champions League.
And I'm so honoured and privileged to be given this fantastic responsibility to lead us forward.
You've achieved so much at this football club. How does this rank alongside? How proud is today?
I don't think proud is the right word. I'm happy, I'm honoured, because it's a fresh start. It's a start of something new again. It's now the hard work starts. Now it's the hard work, the enjoyable work, hard work. So it's not a moment to be proud in that respect. As I said here, to lift the Premier League trophy again is what we expect, what we're used to, what we have done so many times. We can't wait for too many years, but we have to take step by step. It's not like it's going to happen overnight, catching 15, 16, 17 points or wherever we are behind the top teams now.
All right, so Ole Gunnar Solskjaer speaking there after yesterday's confirmation. Let's go over to the phone and speak to Andy Mitten, who is a journalist in the UK. Andy, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Very good decision for Manchester United.
Yes, it's a very popular decision. He's been in charge for 19 games. He's won 14 of those games. He's hugely popular among United fans anyway because of what he did as a player. He famously scored the goal which allowed United to win the treble in 1999, and he's impressed everybody at the club with his attitude, with his positivity, with his feeling that this is a group that should be doing much better. And United were failing under Jose Mourinho. They were so far behind leaders Manchester City and Liverpool that it just wasn't good enough. United have got the second highest wage bill in world football, and there were great players there who were very, very unhappy. And Solskjaer's changed all that, and there's still work to do. This is not yet a vintage United side. It still needs improvements, and he said that yesterday. And I don't think a title challenge is imminent, but United is a much, much happier place now. Those 9 away wins on the run, including games at Arsenal, at Chelsea, at Tottenham, and especially in Paris, they were just fantastic. They've really given United fans joy again.
Is this something you anticipated?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, I was asking that, is this a decision that you anticipated?
It's one which the club have taken time to deliver. They feel that the time now is right to say. At the end of an international week, United have got games ahead in the next month against Barcelona twice, Manchester City, Chelsea. It's going to be a very, very tough month ahead. So they felt after Solskjaer lost the last 2 games, it was a good time to do it, and also to let him get on and think about what's going to happen next season. And everybody agrees with that. I've not yet met a Manchester United fan who disagrees with the decision.
And Andy, finally, before I take leave of you, remember during the reign of Sir Alex Ferguson, the first 3 seasons he was nearly sacked because things were not going well. Now this is their own. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played at the club for 11 years, did amazing things for them. You think that if possibly things are not going well in the 3-year contract given in Manchester United, should still keep faith in him with the hope that probably in the near future things will go well?
Yeah, I mean, he has to deliver. He couldn't repeat what Ferguson did in his first 3 years because United is a much different club now. They're a much wealthier club now. They can afford to buy some of the best players in the world. They couldn't back in 1986, 1987. The youth system's already been reorganised before Solskjaer came back to the club. The scouting network too. So if Solskjaer finishes 9th next season, it just won't be good enough. He's got to be finishing in the top 4. He will be cut slack. He's got a lot of credit because of who he is, but he needs to be delivering almost instantly. He needs to start next season well and finish this season strongly. When you're in charge of Manchester United, the demands are very high, but he should also be given time to do the job. He should be given 2 years to deliver and then be judged properly after that. But because this cycle of changing managers all the time doesn't help Manchester United, but this appointment has given more optimism, I think, than any of the managerial appointments post-Ferguson when United have struggled so much.
Andy, thanks so much for your time here this morning. So that was Andy Mitten, football writer based in England, speaking to me on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's permanent job as Manchester United manager. On an interim basis, did very well, so we'll see what will happen now that he's been given the job on a permanent basis. His first assignment will be an English Premier League game at home to Watford this weekend, which I'll tell you more about later. But now here on the local scene, after 9 months of no active domestic football following the Anas Arimiyao Anaz's expose, local football is finally returning this weekend with the Normalization Committee special competition for Premier and Division 1 clubs. There will be matches across the country, and the fixtures will be on your screens pretty shortly. So what it means is that we're going to have Zone A and Zone B, where, in other words, Northern and Southern. So for Zone A, we'll have Asante Kotoko, top liner at the Barbara Stadium against the Diana Stars. Ashanti Gold will be at the Obuasi Clay Stadium to play against 11 Wonders. And then we'll have Bekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park play host to Mediama FC and Stallions FC. Now, Stallions, former Wow All Stars, now they've changed their name to Stallions. Wow All Stars is now Stallions FC, so they will come up against Bechem United and Zombi. At the Accra Stadium this Sunday, big game, Hearts of Oak Dreams FC will have Obisson Dwarfs at the Cape Coast Stadium play host to Karela, and then Interlice will be at the Tema Park to play against the Omina Sharks, and at Sugakope will be Wafa up against Liberty. All right, so away from that, we have to do some more here on the local scene. But before we do more here on the local scene, let's look at what's going to happen in the English Premier League in terms of the fixtures. I've already mentioned to you that Manchester United will be at home to play against Watford. And the early kickoff this weekend will be Fulham, Manchester City, Brighton, Southampton, Burnley, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then we'll have Crystal Palace. They will be at Selhurst Park to play against Huddersfield, and then Leicester will be at the King Power Stadium to take on Bournemouth, and Manchester United at Old Trafford will take on Watford. That's the late kickoff, and we'll have games on Sunday. West Ham United, Everton, Cardiff, Chelsea, and the top line on Sunday will be Liverpool up against Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield, and then Arsenal will be at the Emirates to play against Newcastle United. All right, from the English Premier League now to the Spanish La Liga, where Lionel Messi's goal, which he scored some years back, has been voted as the best Barcelona goal. Join us at 2 on Sports Today. We'll show you that goal. But the fixtures this weekend, Girona, Atletico Bilbao is happening. We'll have Getafe, Leganés, Barcelona, Espanyol, big one, of course, and it's a derby there. Celta de Vigo, Villarreal, Alaves, Atletico Madrid, Levante, Eibar, and then we'll have Real Vallecano will come up against Betis, as well as Sevilla, Valencia, and then Valladolid will take on Real Sociedad, with Real Madrid playing against Huesca. And the Italian Serie A, Cristiano Ronaldo will not be part of the Juventus team as they go into their game this weekend following the injury he picked up whilst playing for his national team. So this weekend in the Serie A, Chievo Verona, Cagliari will have Udinese, Genoa, and then Juventus will play host to Empoli. That's where Fiacqua plays his club football. We have Sampdoria, AC Milan, Parma, Atalanta, and then AS Roma will take on Napoli, with Fiorentina up against Torino. Frosinone will be at home to Spa, with Bologna taking on Sassuolo, and then Inter Milan will come up against Lazio. Well, we've got some Black Stars issues to deal with this morning, and Deputy Sports Minister Perry Okudzeto has revealed there are discussions ongoing to look at the financial package for the team going into the Africa Cup of Nations in 3 months' time. Now, according to him, there's been no change in the current winning bonus of $5,000.
At this stage, the players still earn 5,000 as winning bonus. Discussions are ongoing. When you're going to a tournament as huge as this, there's discussion as to whether what we have is enough or whether an increment will do. Those discussions are still ongoing. No decision has been taken. The management team will continue to dialogue with the team and the ministry and other stakeholders who are involved in the financial package. And then at the appropriate time, a package will be announced towards the tournament. And I believe when we get there, whatever decision is taken will be communicated.
And realistically. All right, so Deputy Sports Minister Perry Okudzeto there. Now, more from the Sports Ministry, and Minister Isaac Isiama yesterday inaugurated 4 committees tasked to the responsibility of seeing to the development of sports in Ghana. My colleague Baba Tanda was there. He must come through with this report.
Ghana steps up preparations to host the 2023 All-Africa Games and the 2019 International Tennis Federation and the Africa Table Tennis Federation Junior Circuit and Cadet Open competitions. The Sports Minister deemed it necessary, in collaboration with all stakeholders, to put together 4 working committees. The Ghana 2023 projects team, which is chaired by Deputy Sector Minister Perry Okudzeto, is to ensure that Ghana successfully hosts and organizes the 13th edition of the All-Africa Games while ensuring the nation's athletes win laurels during the 2-week event. Sports in general in Ghana is on a decline as athletes hardly win laurels during competitions outside of the country. Several reasons have been attributed to this downward trend, and one reason we can immediately talk about is the lack of a policy that resonates with international best practices, a policy that can transform the sports narrative of Ghana during major competitions in the coming years. A team of 9 individuals has therefore been put in place to ensure that the existing policy will be reviewed and transformed into a more acceptable document that will inure to the benefit of Ghana sports. This is the National Sports Policy Review Committee, also to be headed by Perry Okudzeto. The 3rd committee, which happens to be the International Games and Competitions Committee, is an amalgamation of representatives from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the National Sports Authority and the Ghana Olympic Committee. This team will collaborate with the various sports federations and coordinate all competitions and activities which will lead to the selection and preparation of athletes for this year's All-Africa Games in Morocco. Director General of the National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumisi, heads the International Games and Competitions Committee. Ghana will host the 2019 International Tennis Federation and the Africa Table Tennis Federation Junior Circuit and Cadet Open competitions in April this year. A local organizing committee has thus been put in place to ensure a successful hosting and participation of the tournament. Here is Sports Minister Isaac Isiama with the terms and reference of all 4 committees.
The terms of reference of the committee will include, but not limited to, reviewing all existing sports policies in Ghana, organizing forum for all relevant stakeholders to discuss and collate ideas and inputs, and finally to produce a document or a policy document in line with international best practices that will give direction to the development, organization and promotion of sports in this country. And of course, recreation is also included. The integration of these committees are geared towards this noble vision of changing the face of Ghana sports for good.
Deputy Minister Perry Okudzeto and Director General of the National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumisi, accepted the nominations on behalf of all the committees.
On behalf of members of the committee, we pledge our commitment to making sure that we execute the task that has been given us and to make sure that we make Ghana proud and make Ghana ready for the rest of the continent come 2023. I thank you very much.
For Joy Sports, this is Baba Tando.
All right, so that was my colleague Babatanda's report on the Sports Ministry's committees that were inaugurated yesterday. We'll bring you more when you join us at 2 on Sports Today. There will be more in terms of the build-up to the normalization special competition, as well as what to expect in the major European leagues. My name is Benedict Ozu. Always a pleasure serving you every morning on this platform. The show continues after this short break. Don't go away. Enjoy the rest of programs and enjoy your day.